different beast to the Ashe support. So I'm going to be watching Cavallo closely to see what he makes of this pick. Though, to be honest, if anyone was going to bring out this kind of combination, I would expect Liberty to do it. They are just the kind of team that bets on themselves every single time. And they're doing it again here today with a 5-stack into the bottom river. Juliera going to try and bait it, going to drop a little ward there. And Vision has been placed by Nia on the other side, so there will be no plays coming of this. But Liberty still trying to find those early advantages, as we know they love to do.
Ooh. Yeah, and they're going to sweep that ward out. That's 1 CS down. That should have been for Kiari, I believe. Excuse me. Yeah, for Kiari there, so he locks that one up. He gets a little bit earlier level 2 top side. Could potentially turn that into advantage in his ZZK. So you're going to want to keep our eyes on that as we look to the top lane in just a few moments here. But yeah, it's a killer level 1 for Liberty, right? They want to make use of that as much as possible. Interesting point. Normally we see the Black Spear held on to for a few minutes of this game. It is just thrown directly onto Juliera there as they identify they have enough time to go ahead and do so, but that is a point of contention in international play in big leagues around the world is, hey, how long do we hold on to this Black Spear? When do we have a few moments to get that animation down?
Yeah, for sure. As we head into the normal waves crashing in here. Nosferus with the TP pick as well, so no ignites, nothing that really expects any kill threat there, and into a Scion, that is what I would expect. This is going to be an opportunity for Nosferus to farm the hell out of it and potentially make some 2v2 plays with the Maokai, but not expected to find any real threat onto the Scion. And for Nosferus specifically, this is a guy who has been performing, you know, way better this split than before. Things like the Kassadin and these other general mid lane picks that we've seen, Nosferus really stepped up for me in this year, and putting him on the Tristana to be one of the primary carries here, I think is solid. Good scaling option for him. And let's see what he can make of this into Piloto, who is going to be he's going to be Scion, you know? He's not going to be doing most of the carrying later on.
100%. We talked about it just a few moments ago when we said that Kiari would have that advantage into ZZK with the 1 CS from the ward he picked up. Boy, did he ever turn that into a huge advantage. Was able to force ZZK off of the wave and void him getting level 2 there. Could be the gank down bot, so we'll see if Maokai is able to get in.
Flashes in, nails the bandage toss with the flash twisted advance, and Cavallo,
that'll do it.
No way out from there. There's the combo. Yeah, easy first blood for Ninja Kiwi.
Really, really well done and good stuff. That's just a high quality Amumu. I love the Amumu pick so much, Trajan, because of its simplicity, right? It's just, it's like the Nautilus, like the big engage carries, like the Leona, all that good stuff. It's just easier. You get more Qs to throw out. The Q comes out faster than a lot of those other champions. Big, wide skill shots, big, wide ultimate. You can't miss with this champion. That works perfectly for CBLOL.
Yeah, if you've got your timings right, you know, if you've made the decision at the right time, where you have the right jungle pressure, you have the lane in a good state, as you say, it's so easy to pull the play off once you know when you're going to do it. And Nia times that one very, very well. Yumpy exactly where he needs to be, and a couple of flashes gives Ninja Kiwi that first blood. We saw in the stats earlier, he is 2-0 with this pick right now, and even from last season, was making very big impacts on this Caitlyn. It's a bit of a specialty for him. So Juliera and Cavallo have a tough task ahead of them to deal with this one. As for me, I'm going to see what AC does now. We've seen Yumpy get stuck in, AC on the Lee Sin. We would expect to see similar early action out of this pick.
Yeah, kind of herbivorous right now so far. I would go ahead and say he has not been smelling the blood, tracking down the prey. It's been a lot of plant eating so far. Topside Kiari having some issues keeping the Croc under control. Even as I say that, he trades back really hard. Here's AC.
Yeah, maybe looking to break that vegan streak right here. Comes in, lands the resonating strike, but will not take it. ZZK brings enough space.
Doesn't love his chances there. Kiari says, hey, I'm losing minions, man. Let me just call it back here. Piloto taking so much damage from the Tristana. That range matchup has to hurt.
It does, yeah. The Cull stacking up on the other side. Nosferus, well aware of what his goal is right here in Piloto. Happy to take a bit of punishment. Nosferus going to have great damage to champions stats at the end of this game, for sure. But, oh, hang on a second. Nia with another bandage toss. It is onto Juliera, who does have the cleanse in the flash. Has to burn one. Will he burn the other? A simple sidestep saves that that flash key, but the pressure being mounted on by Nia. He is nailing these bandages today.
It really is there, Trajan. Ninja Kiwi cancels 2 auto attacks and misses the Q there. It makes you wonder what exactly would have happened
Caitlyn
to
specialist, by the way.
Juliera. Yeah, if he hits the auto attacks and nails the Q, right? Juliera definitely dead. Maybe Cavallo dead too, right? So
Hmm.
it's a near thing there for sure. And they are feeling the heat very much for themselves. Nothing really to be done for Yampy. He's in position to take the dragon, but his bot lane has had to reset after a poor trade. He's going to reset himself, and this dragon is left right up for grabs. It's not looking like it's going to be an on-tempo dragon here, Trajan. This might be a late one.
No, I mean, yeah, we are in the CBLOL here. On tempo dragons, not our favorite for a couple of the teams, maybe, but generally speaking, we don't tend to focus this objective too much, even in the bot lane meta. As for Liberty and INTZ, really, as we kind of alluded to earlier on, this does feel like a point where I need to see something more out of them into this later stage, especially for Liberty on a personal level, because I was so excited for them in the first couple of weeks, but are they just a flash in the pan, right? They're 5-7 right now, 0-2 last week. They don't seem to have built any momentum apart from that first week. And you know, maybe it's just the fact that this is a basically full academy roster plus Chiari, you know, and Cavallo. Maybe that's just the inexperience shining through. And INTZ on the other side with people like Yumpy do have maybe a bit more to call on. And Liberty, perhaps they just need more time to kind of cook in the oven, you know?
Yeah, I feel that as well. Juliera, one of the Draven players in the league, and it's exciting to watch him play. We'll see here if there's going to be a fight. I don't know if AC has a way in here.
We're going to find
4v4.
one. Piloto wants to make a way in, a flash away, will dodge the ultimate, but there's the engage onto
Wow.
Juliera. Even with the flash, no point pressing it. They just piled on his head. That kill will secure the first dragon for INTZ.
Yeah, really nice focus from INTZ there. It's that's not where you want to be
Ooh.
walking, folks.
Play's not done. Play's not done. Ninja Kiwi flashes right back into the waiting arms of Kalista. And they'll find the counter kill. Nia, tagged by the Q, gets the stun of the flash in from Lee Sin. He'll get something for himself. And all told, Liberty, not too shabby at all. One Mountain Drake, not a huge value, but getting a kill on your Lee Sin and your Kalista support, pretty nice.
And this is where you're going to start to see the top half of the league separate from the bottom half. You make a great play, great focus on enemy AD carry in a skirmish just before a major objective. That's what you do to get to the top half. How do you get to the bottom half of this league? Is you make silly mistakes, silly mental errors, walk through channels you're not allowed to walk through, and you get picked off like they did after this fight.
Oh,
Just look at the focus,
yeah.
right? Juliera has no way into this fight, no way out either. They take him down super simple, textbook, and then just I guess we gotta walk back to the lane this way. I don't know.
Yeah, a whole empty river above them that they could have taken back to recall here, but a little bit of a split decision there. And yeah, Juliera, as you pointed out, you know, just walks onto a Caitlyn trap in front of his team and insta dies. Like, what did you think was gonna happen, my guy? Like, it's just not really great to see from him there. Piloto, the main frontline here. You know, AC can do some disruption, Chiari can maybe do some distraction, but ultimately Piloto is the only real tank frontliner they have, and Varus, without the Kalista ult to save him, he's pretty vulnerable to that dive.
I would have to agree with you there, Trajan. They're going to rotate down here and take this Rift Herald. This should be uncontested as well. Yampy does have 6. Could have potentially unlocked one of his laners and gone for this play, but just does not feel that he has the angle for that particular fight. Juliera, the ult, going to go wide down bot side. Could change the trajectory of a fight coming up here in just a little.
Yeah, unfortunately that skill shot not connecting there. With a flashless Caitlyn, could have easily turned into another kill with the Kalista ult to follow up, but they can't find it. They won't get killed on the backside at least. Jumpy's in the area, but doesn't look like there's a dive on the cards just yet. And with the cleanse back up for Varus, and as we said, the Kalista ult, it's pretty hard to make that one stick, so they'll get away with it. Only about 1,000 gold in the lead for INTZ plus the Dragon, so they'll be pretty happy with it. But, you know, going into a Kalista lane, you kind of want to be ahead on this kind of pick, I imagine. And Caitlyn happy enough to just be up there on the gold charts, as you can see. Tristana and Caitlyn topping them out.
I would say they're feeling pretty good right now. Seeing Ninja Kiwi this accelerated is exciting for INTZ fans.
Ults
Gary's
dropped. Needlework is there. Every stack missed by the look of it. Kiari getting his ankles broken there. ZZK dodging around. Draws up to Dominus and will get the ignite out from Kiari. But no kill to be found right here. I'm waiting to see if Kiari can be like the Gwens that we've seen in past weeks as well. I remember a couple of weeks ago, Gwen started coming back and FMB was doing 40k damage and Tai was doing 40k damage. Everyone was doing these massive Gwen teamfight damage performances. And Kiari, I'd expect to see something akin to that from what we know this guy's capable of.
Yeah, more exciting Kiari play, please, if we can help it. I would certainly appreciate that. But it's more exciting than some of the tank top laners we've seen, to be sure. And especially if there's like a Jax in the game, it has to be played so safe top lane, just so you don't anger the Jax and give him like a 10-kill lead or whatever. it really slows down the game, makes it less fun to watch. So yeah, I appreciate the Gwen as well here. Yampy down bot sides, 3v3. Oh, just the biggest ultimate there.
He's pulled Juliera back out. He's alive at least, and AC will kick back Nia into Yumpy. All the Liberty members will step away with their lives. Piloto hovering. But another great engage from Nia with Yumpy ready. And yeah, it was a timely Kalista ult to get Juliera out of that bind.
Incredible utility, right? And you see why the pick has made such headway, and the world market, will go ahead and call it here. Just being able to pull your carry out of any situation and really save them is so valuable. It's going to be 2v1 mid lane. Piloto should be okay. Yeah, just, again, another crazy Nia play. He just cues in with the bandage toss, hits a 3-man ultimate. Honestly, I don't think many comps there from Liberty are able to actually aggress from that situation. I think most 3v3s, core 3 down bot side, definitely die there. So their ability to disengage is incredible in this game. They've drafted a really nice comp.
Yeah, for sure. And Liberty, always impressive on the mechanical side. That at least we can give them hands down. Maybe the decision-making can be questioned. Maybe the drafting at some times can be questioned. But the resiliency and the mechanics cannot be brought into disrepute for Liberty. And they are still 5-7. You know, this is one of our 9th place teams right now, Liberty. But 5-7 is not the worst record, as Nia now brings his talents into the mid lane. But Piloto he's already a brick wall, man. Nosferus just cannot break through.
It's incredibly tanky. He's got the stopwatch in the inventory as well, too, right? So the guy's not going down anytime soon. But again, lots of value there from Nia, who's making such great use of the champion. They toggled vision just before Nia hit that bandage toss, and he was right on the edge of the vision there. So great understanding of the champion, what he has to accomplish, and able to nail Piloto with the skill shot. Didn't end up doing much, but again, just really, really heads up play from there. Liberty going to walk onto another objective here uncontested. You can't keep giving them up if you're INTZ.
Yeah, it's well timed by them. Yumpy running back from the fountain. Will not be able to contest that. Nosferus, though, at least will grab some plate gold there. So he's on the road. He's on the path to success right here with a CS lead, a kill for himself, plates in the mid lane, and he's gonna become that Tristana threat. He just has to make sure he gets onto those important targets. And Piloto working towards, I guess, the early Gargoyle Stone plate, as implied by the stopwatch buy. Maybe second item, maybe even first. Who knows how Juicy is feeling on this Scion mid. And it's all about this bot lane so far. We can see again, Yumpy's in the area. This has really been the pivot point for this game so far.
It has, and it feels like it's coming a little bit late here. What you want to be doing as Yumpy in this tank jungler situation is unlock one of your lanes so they can rotate with you onto other objectives. Even if that's just rotating onto another lane and trying to force down a turret, that's something you can certainly look for. But there's no objectives there on the bot side here. Maybe you unlock bot lane, you all go push 4 down the mid lane. Could be something that he's looking for, but again, with the dragon down, there's really no reason to be on this side of the map. It should just be perma clearing. Give me the dive top side.
Oh, they kick him out. Easy dominance for ZZK, though. I don't know if they have a kill. Kiari stunned up under tower. Can he find it? He'll at least trade. And a TP burn by Nosferus. Not the cleanest, but I guess they got the objective done.
Certainly did get that done. It's the trade 1-for-1, both top laners down. I think, yeah, the assist would go over to AC there, so maybe a little advantage over to Liberty. Piloto now in trouble as they have taken my advice and rotated up into the mid lane. Trying to force this mid lane turret down should be an easy enough job for them here.
Well, AC, you gotta be careful here as a rocket jump in with a buster shot. He's just about survives, and Yumpy ready to smite him down to dunk that one in. As now they'll lose that top tower as well. The Tristana TPing up now, getting massive value as Piloto.
Look at the flank.
Looking for Ninja Kiwi. Exactly, Kiari ready and waiting to punish. Ninja Kiwi's flashed away, but will he be able to get out? They're pivoting,
Nia?
in fact, to Nia, who's just taken down Cavallo. He's just knocked him over as an Amumu into an Umbral Glaive Callista. Varus is ready and waiting to snipe that one out. Will accept the free payment, but Ninja Kiwi lives, and Nosferus, man's still pushing up there.
Oh, yeah. All that said, INTZ got massive value out of this. Both of those
Yeah.
bot laners go down the mid lane, and that is unfortunate for them, but they get 2 turrets worth of gold, and that cannot be taken away from them. It's a great rotation, great play across the map here. It does not set them up to take down this Rift Herald, but, you know, I mean, what are you going to use the Rift Herald for? Take down the turrets? Well, they already took down the turrets, so they don't need that, do they?
Yeah.
There's a replay coming through for you. They take down the turret pretty easily. The teleport was the big issue. Kiari teleport on that back flanking ward really shut this whole play down. Ninja Kiwi, did Ninja Kiwi walk out of this? I actually didn't see that. So I guess Ninja Kiwi survived this play.
Away.
It is just Nia that dies here, and he dies this this arrow from Juliera there from off screen. So honestly, a near perfect play, near perfect rotation from INTZ. Really well done.
Yeah, Ninja Kiwi getting a great value here, getting a lot of gold funneled into him as well. Massive CS lead for him in that matchup. Oh, they kick back though. Nia goes golden. Will survive as the Malkail comes through. Nia still getting locked up, flashes away. Just about scrapes it out of ZZK, holding down the fort. How did he get out of that one? Nia's having a stellar game today. I think the fight is over. I don't think they'll be able to find the re-engage.
Yeah, Dominus should drop here soon. They'll disengage, but even just that little bit of damage ZK dropped on the Kiari was so incredibly extreme. The Bork does so much damage. What's Nosferus doing? He's free hitting top lane turret. Nothing Piloto can do about this. He's going to ult out, force the flash from Nosferus. It's 1v2, but Nosferus does a lot of damage.
Oh my goodness. He certainly does. Here's the reinforcements from both sides, and man just walks away, only loses his flash, and that top lane tower went down.
It sure did go down. The minions able to take it down eventually. No end in sight here now for Liberty as they're taking the Rift Herald. That's going to be dropped on them here in just a little bit. You can open the bot lane up with this. You could just force down more mid lane turrets. Yeah, I would put this on a pause as well here. This is one of those timeout calls you make in T-Sports where it's like, hey, we just lost like so many yards in a football game or something like that. Or we got scored like 3 times back to back in a hockey game. And you're just like, I just need to get my team into the locker room right now and ask them what the heck is going on. That's what's happening to INTZ here. It's crazy how much headway they've made.
Yeah, quick fire plays over the last few minutes. And, you know, some of them Liberties and some of them INTZs, but INTZ came out on top of every one of them. They're able to get out of the danger. They're able to find the pressure. And, yeah, Nosferus always chipping away at that top side. So, honestly, this has been a very well-managed game from INTZ versus Liberty, who are always a very dangerous team to go up against. And for me, INTZ, they're definitely improved over the last year. You know, 2022 was a bit of a dumpster fire, let's be honest, but there's certainly improvement there. They're still technically joint 7th/joint 9th, but I think that this roster certainly seems to have a much higher ceiling than previous ones, and we are getting to see a little glimpse of that potential in this game.
Yeah, they're young guys. They got good hands, right? Good mechanics. They're up on all the new champions, all the new mechanics, all that good stuff. And that does give them the edge in certain circumstances. But, I mean, you put that Tristana in the side lane with all that bonus structure damage and just let her free hit. And you're going to learn real quick why you can't just let Tristana sit in the side lane. A champion will absolutely tear you apart. And I got to say, that really is the key here for Liberty, too. There's just no way Tristana is allowed to free hit turrets in the side lane like this alone. We do see ZZK like roaming up to like support or shadow, but a lot of these turrets that Nosferus is taking, he's taking alone. He's just sitting there and hitting the turret, and that cannot be allowed. You have to have somebody matching in the side lane. And the thing is here, too, Trajan, it would not be difficult, right? Tristana is not a perfect side lane or anything like that, not even a particularly good one. She just has the hop to get away, the ult to force somebody back, and that's all of her disengage tools, right? So she does have an incredible amount of damage, but there are champions on your roster right now who can match her in the side lane, and I think you need to send them to do so.
Yeah, over an extended chase down, I feel like Sion and Gwen both they catch her eventually. Gwen missed out the Buster shot and just chase her down. Sion just ults, and Tristana has nothing really to do about that. Sion did catch up with Tristana there. The fact that then AC was able to come in for the flank and just get bullied out of the 1 versus 2 by Tristana with the amount of damage coming through. This Lee Sin feels very squishy right now. Feels very fragile. And that's tricky when you're AC. You've got to get deep into an Amumu Maokai comp to find that Caitlyn, to find the Tristana, kick them back, and disrupt that team fight. And if you go in right now, it kind of seems unlikely he's coming out with the amount of damage he's taken.
It does call into question how much exactly was accomplished by the Lee Sin pick with AC in the early minutes of this game, right? And when you kind of hold it up to the light and compare what Yampi was able to accomplish, does it hold up? I think the answer is probably no. I think anything
Yeah.
that was accomplished by Liberty in terms of objectives and this early and now mid game was not really down to the Lee Sin, not really down to anything AC was doing. It was just kind of a negligence from INTZ, right? And that negligence here comes to an end as they take this dragon.
ZZK is going to spot up Piloto on the flank, and the rest of Liberty are heading through the jungle. I don't think they're going to be here in time to stop the objective, but maybe they'll look for a fight on the way out. AC, though, he's been caught up, and the ult is dropped, but Nia steps too far and melts on the front line as a support with no items. Now Kiara's got the needlework stacked up. They're looking for Nosferus. Yampi not too tanky. AP Maokai does not have the defenses. This is a big win for Liberty. They find 3 massive targets, and the Baron is not live. Thankfully, they could look for a Herald, but what a win.
Absolutely massive. And I got to tell you, it does kind of feel like INTZ paying for their sprawling map plays over the last several minutes. I think several members had not taken a reset in several minutes there, and that did hurt them. You see Ninja Kiwi totally ran out of mana, which seems kind of unheard of at this stage of the game. But also, Nostaria's caught without a bunch of resources. Yampi caught without a bunch of resources. ZZK wildly out of position for that particular fight. You take a look at the replay here. So just right out of the gates, a lot of us are missing a lot of mana coming through here. Ninja Kiwi pretty low on mana. They don't really have the ultimates up. Yampi's going to go in. No ultimate from him. Nosferus, no ultimate there. Nothing really used to get out. It felt like they were trying to go for the disengage, and they really did not have that option as a composition, and instead just kind of got ran down.
Yeah, I was spent that whole replay just watching ZZK on the minimap, just like watching. just standing there on the other side of the Dragon Pit, like, are we doing something here, guys? Are you fighting over there? What's that? The sound of your head's been pulled off? Are you okay? And they're and then all the Liberty members came out at about like 40% HP. That's a Renekton playground, He pops ultimate, he flashes in, he is culling the meek in that fight if he gets in there. So maybe a little more aggression from ZZK next time could be warranted. But Liberty, they've closed the gold gap to about 1.5k. They got that Herald for themselves, so they're going to be able to keep extending that one. And Kiari is now 3-1-2. We saw the damage graph there. He was doing the most damage. And the Gwen, again, we're looking for another massive Gwen damage performance potentially on the cards.
And that damage is certainly coming through here. Rift Herald going to be dropped in the top lane. They get a little bit more gold back over to the side of Liberty for their troubles here. This could be the fight over the top lane turret. The second charge goes off from the Rift Herald as well. Take a look at Yampi. Watch out for the ultimate there. That's going to be how you know INTZ are going in with the primary engage. But they are going to back off for the time being. Yeah, watching ZZK, it was almost like the call in comms was disengage, get away. And ZZK was thinking, well, I'm away, I'm out. So I don't go back in, right? Right? And perhaps
Surely
that would have been a better call. But it really felt like they were trying to get away and just did not have the tools to
I'm a
do
good
so.
boy. I listen to my teammates' calls.
Yeah.
I do not ignore them. I'm a team player, ZZK. But sadly, they could have done with a hero in that fight rather than a team player, I think. As now, checking for some Baron vision here. INTZ likely going to not be able to control all of these pink wards. There are 4 pink wards around the Baron River, and only ZZK is sitting on them, so I can't imagine they'll last too much longer. Pilots are going to scope them all out with Kiari on the bot side. TP at the ready, heading towards the second item. Let's see how Liberty want to play this one. If they want to get spicy and just start it up, or look for a bait play, let's see what they want to do.
They have a hard red line of vision set up across this jungle here. So they could potentially start that up. I think they'd want tracking on at least a few members here, and they're going to get that. But the resets come out, and they've not fought over their vision line, so they will lose the majority of it and give up control of this side of the map. I guess they just really needed the items, needed to hit those spikes. I think they may also be content to let the dragons spawn and try to force their way onto an objective. This comp so far seems like it's good at forcing its way into zones, right? Forcing its way into zones of control and chasing down INTZ. It hasn't seemed like it has had an issue with doing that so far. So letting INTZ set up like this isn't the worst thing.
Yeah, it seems like INTZ pushed into the river, put a load of vision down, and then reset, and the Liberty just walked in, took it all, put a load of vision down, and then all reset, and INTZ walked into the river, killed it all, and put their own vision down. You know, I feel like we're missing one step of the process here in terms of the vision game. We have certainly spent a lot of money on pink wards and do not have that many pink wards on the map compared to what we've invested in. So we'll see if that if someone wants to actually defend their vision line right here. It looks like they are potentially going to have a little bit of a dust up over it. Pelota's going to walk into Yumpy. They're engaging on the Scion. Instantly drops the stopwatch. And out comes the Maokai. Can this Scion get away? Flashes into Nia over the wall, who drops the ultimate, but only on the Scion. Doesn't have it for the important targets, and Scion's still getting away on low HP. Chiari has been served up with the Tristana, and AC finds Nia as well. It's another team fight going south for INTZ. The Baron exposed. Could be a massive swing here.
Certainly, and with Nia and Nosferatu down, I don't think there's going to be much of a fight here. ZZK stepping up, feeling strong. There's the teleport from Piloto coming through. Perhaps the re-engage. It is 3v5, Trajan.
Ooh, Cavallo pulls out Juliera, the re-engage, but the double knock-up. In goes ZZK into the mix there. Finds one. Tries to dash to safety. Chiari will say no. Such luck. As Ninja Kiwi, the last in the river, has to cede the ground. Liberty, perhaps they cannot do the Baron. Perhaps they can. There's 3 alive for INTZ. They're rotating back over. They know what's going on. There's a chance for a Ninja Kiwi cleanup here. We've seen the Caitlyn Pentas from this man last split. Let's see if he can work some more magic.
Nia is here.
He's got no ultimate, but he can find his way into the pit quite easily. There's low HP bars. Baron is secured for Liberty. Nia tries to flash to safety, but is chased out. AC, squishy as ever. Will he be allowed to leave? He will, but Nosferatu flashes in for the resets, and he's going to find the double. It's not everybody. A couple of Baron buffs on Liberty's side as Nia is going to walk into Lee Sin, but has he gone too far? There's the healing. Again, Nia falls. And Liberty, Chiari, can we end the fight, man? Can we stop? Can we take a second? But he's dropped the needle work onto Ninja Kiwi, and there's Cavallo. It's going from bad to worse. INTZ, they wanted the fight. They wanted the extension, but they get punished 3, 4, 5 times over.
INTZ just straight up did not fight 5v5 at any point in that fight. It was always 2v5, 3v5, 4v5, 5v1, I think was the best numbers they had when 5 of them were trying to kill Piloto. And after that, it was all downhill from there for them. They just continued to try going in and force their lead through. And I got to tell you, it did not shine through there, Trajan. Not a good play here from INTZ. From top to bottom, they lose the Baron, lose their lives several times over. I think most of their team died twice over that Baron. And that's just no way to play League of Legends. They're going to lose this Dragon as well, lose that bot lane turret, lose almost everything that they had. But most of all here, Trajan, they're going to lose their lead, and they're going to lose it big.
Ooh, massive swing. Only 3k off the Baron power play, and Liberty, they're already over 4k ahead. They were 2k behind what feels like a couple of minutes ago. INTZ losing full control of this game, and the Liberty mid-game resilience, the mental fortitude and the mechanical prowess coming up trumps for them over and over. And against INTZ, with this history of bad decisions in the mid-game, they were ripe for the punish. Liberty not looking to end their season just yet. They're trying to climb back out of this triple stack in seventh place in the standings.
And you have to feel for INTZ as well here, because most of their comp, that was the strongest portion of the game for them. So when you see ZZK angling for this 3v5 angle, when you see him stepping up into several members, trying to make the plays come through, he is a very strong champion on this Renekton at 23 minutes. So a lot of that's very understandable why he thought he had these limits that he didn't have. And a lot of that can just be chalked down to, hey, unlucky. Perhaps they could have played that 3v5 and won out, but it was just not to be, unfortunately, on the day. And they have lost out incredibly big. Just a continuously sprawling team fight that could have come to an end at several different points and did not, because they wanted to see, hey, maybe if we roll the dice just one more time, we'll get everything we've lost back. And it never came through for them here, Trajan.
It certainly did not. They've now got the push into mid lane. The Baron buff has fallen off. They've got to be wary of the Nia engage. Still very powerful. But man, I'm checking in inventories right now to see the damage that's been done with this gold lead. And my eyes are drawn to a certain Chiari. 7-1 and 5 with a Medjai's bot on the Gwen. We're going to have to start talking about CBLOL Gwen, I think. It's another of the homegrown Brazilian talent picking up this champion and just wrecking face with it over the last couple of weeks.
Gwen is immune. Gwen is certainly immune.
To criticism, to all negative thought, yeah.
Certainly, yeah. The 10-stack Medjai's is pretty solid there in the inventory. Certainly we compare it to ZZK as well, right? I mean, just the two items, the Bork and the Prowler's Claw, both items that are kind of like, at this point in the game, like Hail Marys, right? Like you hit the Prowler's Claw on a Juliera maybe and burst him down, and that's about as much as you're getting out of ZZK at the stage of the game. Chiari, meanwhile, is just tearing through the entire enemy team with nothing stopping
Rabadon's as well. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. No, it's super, super over. You have 4 items. One of them is a Medjai's, and it's got stacks on it. It's not good whatsoever for INTZ right now, and they were so far ahead too, Trajan. Tragedy of a game. I wish this was a best of 3, and I will never stop talking about it.
Yes, we were. My life for a best of format, potentially, as INTZ certainly would kill for one at this stage, but at this rate, they're not even going to be allowed to get to playoffs where the best of 5s come through. Liberty keeping their hopes alive if they can reach that 6th position. It's not far. It's not far from their reach. There's 3 teams at 6 and 6 and 3 teams at 5 and 7 right now. It's looking like 2022 split 1. But those 3 6 and 6ers are Loud, Furia, and Pain. Very much the top echelon of last year. So Liberty, as the Academy-built squad, plus Chiari and Cavallo, still have some mountains to climb. And first, they've got to finish this game out. Let's not drop the ball now, lads. We've had a great past few fights. And the Baron up in less than a minute could be the next battleground.
Chiari gonna be down the bot side here, trying to control that side of the map, take as much of the gold on Summoner's Rift as possible. We're rotating back up, just really hammering the nails into INTZ, holding them up, holding them in place, and keeping them from making a comeback in this game. That gold lead back up to 5K, which is this time it's in the favor of Liberty. Dragon going to be spawning on Summoner's Rift as well as Baron. But it would be a miracle if INTZ gets either of them at this stage. I don't think we'll get the Dragon Soul this game, Trajan. I think Liberty probably ends it out before then.
Yeah, I don't think they're interested in going for that level, right? I don't think the Ocean Soul is hugely impactful for either side necessarily in this game in particular. And you don't want to put the Elder on the field to risk a steal when you're this far ahead. They've moved on to the Baron right now, currently out of vision, but there comes the blue ward. INTZ know what's going on. Yumpy spotted out. He's got the flash. He drops the Nature's Wrath. Can he find his way in? They've locked up Piloto, and that's a lot of damage onto that Scion as the Baron ticks lower and goes near. They found the Gwen! 1,000 gold shutdown to open it up, and Chiari is wiped out as the Baron is seeded. Piloto couldn't take it in the Scion passive. And all of a sudden, Axeman, it's been yeeted right back to INTZ.
Trajan, we got a little game on our hands here. Oh, man, it was always going to come down to Nia's ultimate, and it came through big. I think it was a 5-man ultimate, so massive for him there, and he held on to it, too, making sure it would connect with as many members as possible after he landed the initial Q. Really, really well played from Nia. You can't give him enough credit. hitting that ultimate, getting the stuns down, totally made that possible for Nosferis and Ninja Kiwi to get the damage down. And they get the damage down, they certainly did, shutting down Chiari, getting Piloto into the ground, and eventually securing the Baron. Such a great play from INTZ.
All the Magi stacks, dust in the wind. The Dragon's still live, and looks like Liberty are going to make a run for it to get something out of this debacle at the Baron pit just there, as INTZ happy to receive that one. Gold almost even back up, and they're very much still in it. They've got 3 items on Nosferus, 3 items on Caitlyn. Both their AD carries are very much online, and we saw how quickly Piloto melted in that Baron pit.
Certainly just a pile of health, right? At this point,
Yeah.
and easy to cut through for Nosferis, who still does quite a bit of damage with the 3 items there. Also the 3 items on Ninja Kiwi too. So pretty strong. And if you can get Chiari out of the fights right at the top of them, like we saw in that last fight, that's so much gold out of Liberty. Almost all of the wind out of their collective sails. And not only that, Trajan, but we haven't talked about it yet. All those Magi stacks, they're gone, right? No more stacks for you there.
Vanished.
Yeah, you lose all of them on death, right? And you died without killing anybody. So no stacks left for you in the Magi's. That cuts a lot of the power out of Chiari inherently anyway. INTZ are feeling pretty good about their chances now. Better, certainly, than they have felt in a while.
Yeah, for sure. It was looking dire mere 90 seconds ago, but now they are the ones with the Baron empowered push, cracking more towers, as Piloto doesn't want to wait for that one. Malkayolt slows the re-engage, and Piloto on the front line is going to fall. Nothing that Liberty can do. The CC chain keeps them out, as Piloto again the first to die, and now the towers following up.
Nosferis is so good at pushing down these structures with the bonus structure damage. CZK pushing in deep, trying to draw some pressure away from this bottom turret here. They have the Baron empowered minions. They're going to try and get the turret down.
They're going to get it. O'Neill gets his way in, but won't get his way out. Popped on the front line as Yumpy trying to do what he can. Chiari, though, trying to get some of those stacks back. Drags the Hallowed Mist back, and Ninja Kiwi wants to get this inhibitor down. With Nosferus' help, they'll find it. Just the one death for the Amumu. Pretty fine for INTZ. It really feels like this entire game, Axeman, hinges on whether Nia gets the perfect ult. If he doesn't, fight lost, Liberty take control. If he finds it, suddenly INTZ, they're right back in it.
Certainly, right? And there's that continuous threat from INTZ as well, is where are these fights taking place, right? If they're in the base for Liberty, that puts them on the clock, because Nosferis isn't going to be trying to kill your carries. He's going to be gunning for your Nexus, right? And you just have Nexus turrets up left. Nosferis can cut those turrets down in very short amount of time, take your Nexus before you're able to do anything. So now, all of a sudden, with half their base missing, it becomes this situation where we're not even really team fighting anymore. We're just trying to stop them from taking our structures down. Because at the end of the day, Trajan, that's how you win the video game, right? It's not killing the enemy team. It's protecting your Nexus. Very difficult job for Liberty.
Very, very difficult at this point in the game. Still relatively even in gold, and now Liberty, maybe they do want to prioritize that Dragon in a couple of minutes, as they need something to try and get their way back into this game. But both the Dragon and the Baron will be up at the same time, and with 2 inhibs down, the map pressure already very much against the red side. So they're trying to get control of this mid lane right here. We've seen the Maokai ult do massive work in these team fights as well. He's onto 3 items at this point, finished the Anathemas as well. I'd imagine, I wonder who that's attached onto, potentially literally onto Chiari, as opposed to normally you see it go onto the AD carry, but Chiari, I think, is honestly the bigger threat in these fights. If they want to try and keep him locked down, reduce that tenacity. He's going to get knocked up, but look at these INTZ members. They're waiting to close the trap.
They certainly are here. Want to close those jaws around the necks. See if they're able to here. This could be another fight around. Watch out for Nosferis just hitting the turrets, right? Cutting them down. Baron's back up
as soon as he gets in
range.
Ninja Kiwi, in fact, the richest member. Highest CS in the game right now, with a decent KDA of his own. Has been a little quieter than Nosferis, so obviously the Tristana, naturally a bit flashier, been taking a lot of turrets. But Ninja Kiwi has been quietly accruing that gold. Both of them now on 4 items. There's 3 GAs across the side of INTZ. You've got to kill them 8 times, essentially, to really find that ace. And Liberty, The time is running out, but 30 seconds on these major objectives. Who's going to go where? Who's going to prioritize which one? As now, INTZ first into the mid lane.
Yeah, not a lot of room for a pick here from Liberty. You really got to find somebody alone and then spend quite a bit of time with them to go for a competent pick, and it's just not going to happen this late into the game. So those GAs really coming in handy for INTZ to prevent any unfortunate incidents for sure. They're going to be under the Baron now. INTZ could potentially just rush down the Nexus. We'll see if they go for the fight. It's 50-50. Other way, Trajan. We'll see.
ZZK is far behind them right now. He's almost got TP. Maokai ult comes out. They're committing to the flip. Who finds it? It's AC. They've got the Baron. Now they just need to get out of this fight. Jungler for support so far. Kiari in the mist. Nosferus leaps in. Looks to try and knock down that Gwen. Oh my goodness! The burst onto Tristana pushed into the GA. They have to get this Gwen dead or it will be over for them. As Juliera's alive, Ninja Kiwi managed to find the Kalista. Kiari still popping, still snipping away. As they're finally the ace in the hole from Ninja Kiwi from the pit will secure the triple. And that's why he's got all the gold. He's the last man standing. Juliera trying to keep ZZK off his back, but the TP's into the Nexus. He might win this one, in fact. Doing a good job of keeping himself alive, but as long as that Varus cannot channel recall, this game is over. Exactly dead even gold. 100 gold advantage, and it's evened up at 38 minutes, Axeman.